Relationship is not helping you to be safe and not helping you to grow in life, not giving you that amount of peace and happiness, then you need to ask yourself whether I want to be in this relationship or not. Why are you in this relationship? Listening to somebody, being there for somebody, holding their hands and saying, don't worry, I'm there for you. All these are skills coming under emotional intelligence. Who taught our parents or us to do that?
What does actually being there for them involves? What does it look like to you?
It's a beautiful combination of caring for them, to giving them space, and understanding that it is their own journey. You cannot force them to come out of something. Most of us are not looking for any solution. We know what we need to do. We just want a year who somebody who's not judging us. That's it. Just 1 year of just saying what I really want to say. If in a relationship somebody is screaming at you all the time, or physically abusing you, mentally abusing you, emotionally abusing you, you're not in a relationship actually. It's important. And if you feel you're seeing somebody who's going through it, please don't offer advice. Please don't offer motivation. Please don't offer any of those encouraging quotes given on Google. Just be with them and ask them just one question. People are at a stage where you don't feel like doing something. And the point is that if you see someone around you, somebody like that, then see how you can support them. How I've worked with so many people closely who have been my friends, who have been my clients, who have been my students. And the point is at that point of time, that motivation is needed, that encouragement is needed, that sitting and bringing in that compassion is needed a lot. So not everyone is every time enthusiastic to try it. It's absolutely okay if you don't feel like, and to take baby steps to take charge of your life and slowly to see that, one day I want to come out of it. I'm not able to, but I want to. That in itself is very important to know.
You know what stops people, I guess? People who lose motivation. I mean, there are two types of people who just don't want to do it, and who maybe genuinely want to do it but don't know where to start. It's, I believe, the feeling of being overwhelmed when they look at the end goal, especially if they have come to the extreme side of things. Just the visualization and the thought of how am I going to get there, that baffles people.
To an extent, yes, Rahul, but a lot of times not really. People go to depression. They go to mild depression, clinical depression, a depression where they don't feel like getting from the bed. And that's real a lot of times. A lot of times it is chemical hormones. A lot of time it is postpartum. A lot of times it is being lonely or isolated for a longer time and not doing anything about it. There could be various reasons of why one would feel like that. There are a lot of reasons. There are some reasons which are related to your genetics, how your biology of your body is, and what you may have chemically or due to hormones have reached there. Or the other reason could be where uh, like immigration becomes one of the reasons.
Really?
Where you were staying with a joint family and you felt, want to explore living alone. You come to a new place and you start living alone, and you either make a choice or you're not fitting in with people, with somebody, you're not able to make friends, and you start living alone, so much so that you realize that you're not liking this and you're not okay with this, and you start feeling more isolated and more lonely. There's a difference in being alone and lonely. Alone is when you're happy being alone. I'm sitting with myself, I'm very happy, because you have worked on yourself and you reach that stage.
I call it
Solitude. So, but there are times you could be lonely, and that's fair too, because for some reason, either due to certain choices being made or certain things which are out of your control. There are times things are out of people's control and it happens. And at that point of time, the point is to seek support. And if you feel have anybody in family or friends who are going through that, to give them support, to be there, like you stand there waiting for them to see when they want to make the choice. You can't force them in that case. You cannot motivate them in that case.
Yeah.
Any motivation video, they would want to just shut it off. They just need a safe and a compassionate space at that point of time. So sometimes it's difficult for somebody to come out of the bed and leave aside hitting a gym, just coming out of.
It's so funny, right? In nowadays we have to hold workshops, people have to go to therapists just to open up, which I believe should have been the norm. Opening up to your own family members, opening up to your own friends. And even in my personal experience, there were times when I wanted to open up, but people have become superficial to some extent. And that doesn't make you want to open up sometimes. So, for example, you can talk to somebody and the conversation would be like, hey, how are you? I'm good. Everything's okay. Have a wonderful day. And that's it. To open up, to have that safe space, first, you need to find somebody on the same wavelength.
Yeah,
Then you need somebody to be a good listener and somebody to genuinely give you a good advice.
you're right.
And I expect, at least this was my perception before, that being somebody being your blood relation would do that for you, but no, it doesn't. It's always somebody, it's the other person usually. Could be a random stranger. That's why sometimes it feels so good to talk to a random stranger. The people that you expect to be there for you, usually they won't, and they don't like to talk about it. And it's the other person, random occurrences, that sometimes just changes life.
Absolutely. But it is not family people's fault, Rahul. We need to understand that part. Listening to somebody, being there for somebody, holding their hands and saying, don't worry, I'm there for you. All these are skills coming under emotional intelligence. Who taught our parents or us to do that?
Nobody.
We were not taught in schools, universities, growing up. You do your MBA or CAT or BBA or whatever you do in life, nowhere you're taught these skills. So, how are we going to learn it? That's the reason we go to therapy or a group therapy or spiritual therapies and all, because we need some space to learn this. So, and the myth is that there should be something wrong with me for me to learn this. And I rather feel opposite. If someone says everything in my life is going very good and I don't need anything in my life, I say, don't say that out of your mouth. Learn these skills when everything is going fine in your life so that you can be preventive better than finding a cure. Equip yourself with those emotional skills. So, as you're saying, right, you can develop it in your family. You can develop it in the family you are going to create and around you. You can't do much about friends or people around. And the fact is, it's none of your business. You see in your own inner circle, how can you create a circle of people who are like this? That's the best you can do when you're raising a kid, when you're having a family. That's the best you guys can do as a couple. That's in your hand. Nothing else is in your hand. One day I was having some kind of, I was on phone, I was not feeling okay about something. And I just kept the phone, I was not okay. And my kid was just sitting over there and he was just watching me. He did not do anything for 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I just looked at him. And the only thing he said, are you okay? I said, yeah, I'm okay. He's 8 years. And he said, do you want to talk about it? I said, no, I'm fine. Okay, let me know if you need.
You've grown him up really well.
So the point is, I've not taught him this, but that's what he's seeing around him. And he's imbibing that skill. So the fact of the matter is that we all can learn that skill. So hence, having a family or friends to be emotionally sensitive is in your hands with your family. That's what you can do. But our fathers or grandfathers or friends have learned, not learned. It was their own cycle of life. They will learn when it is a part of their karmic cycle to learn.
This is, you actually said what I was technically going to say. Sometimes when we learn things, we also break the generational trauma, and that's where culture comes in. So if I have something to heal, it's probably in my lineage, and I'm getting it from my ancestors too. So if I don't work on myself, it's probably my kids who's gonna go through the same circumstance and break the generational cycle.
Yeah. And it's a choice,
Yes.
Rahul, to break that generation cycle. The way, for example, you may not have felt in your family. Now you were like, you know what? I want to break it. And the kid who's going to come in my life, I'm going to teach that kid. or other people also for that matter. So, and through your podcast you're trying to do that, right? To raise awareness, that's what you're doing. So it's fine to keep doing it, and that's the best we can do. So if somebody says, I'm here to change the world, okay, start here. Start
Start
with
with where you
yourself.
can make an impact.
Start with yourself first. Start within your inner circle and see what you need to do. Go slow. No need to rush. There's no race happening. Go slow and see what you can do around with 2, 3, 5, 10 people. Good enough to start with that. And then see how you can spread it across. So it's everyone is in their own journey. अगर कोई जैसे मेरे पास कोई आता है थेरेपी में, वो बोलता है, what, Prashant, I need to get my husband here. And I said, that's where the issue is. It's not, you cannot change people.
You so cannot. No, I've learned it the hard way. You cannot. Yeah. It's, and this is what I also kind of tried to imply in my previous question. Like, you even cannot motivate people. It just has to come from within. No matter what you tell them, you can tell them 1,000 times to go do something, but self healing, motivation, improvement, it's a calling from inside. And sometimes people go through the harshest circumstances before they change. And this is what I believe in. It's like, okay, if your lesson is something, maybe if my lesson is to not get triggered, let's say, and I keep on getting triggered, right? There will be one universe will try to intervene one time, and I don't know anything about it. It's gonna intervene again with a louder volume, and I don't. The third time, fourth time, it's gonna literally uproot my life, bring a circumstance that will kind of make me realize about my own actions before I make a different choice and respond to the situation rather than react. And this is very common in, you can say, relationships. If the person is not right for you, sometimes your intuition will tell you, but we just don't want to listen to it. We might have questions, or we might stay in that relationship for the projection of it, what it could be, but not evaluate it for what it is. Universe will intervene once, twice, thrice, fourth time, and the fifth time you will be hurt so freaking bad that you will just leave the person.
When you were talking about uh, how important it is to feel motivated, feel encouraged, and while there could be a certain reasons people are not doing things and they are not motivated enough, for example, to go to gym, for example, I'm saying that there could be a lot of other reasons which we don't understand. Some things could be based out of chemicals, something could be based out of hormones, something could be genetic, something could be the biology of a body, and which makes an impact. And at the end of the day, it could be also that something which, a trauma which you have gone through and you're not able to come out of it. You're not able to heal through it. And at that point of time, just motivating somebody is not going to help them. You cannot motivate people until and unless that willingness comes from inside. And at that point of time, just to be with the person and to share that, hey, I'm here, we'll go through it together, that in itself can be very strong for somebody. That in itself could be a very good start.
When you talk about being there for somebody, it's easy to say, but how can you show up for somebody genuinely? What are some of the ways that you can know that, okay, yes, you're actually being there for the person? Because it's a very different thing to listen, actively listen, and it's a very different thing to just hear what they are saying. Sometimes you listen just because you want to provide them with a solution, which is not actively truly being there for them. What does actually being there for them involves? What does it look like to you?
It's a beautiful combination of caring for them, to giving them space, and understanding that it is their own journey. You cannot force them to come out of something. It's like you plant a small a plant and you want it to one day become a tree, or you want it to grow up, give some nice flowers. And you say, hey, grow up, you need to give me flowers, okay? Will it start giving? No, right? At that point of time, what you bring in care, you bring in some water, you bring in some sun, you bring in some love. And some people also talk to the plants. So the fact of the matter is, if you care and if you're standing beside them and listening to them, actually just listening to them, the biggest myth about talking, communication, Rahul, is that uh, the other person is looking for a solution. Actually, most of us are not looking for any solution. We know what we need to do. We just want a year who somebody who is not judging us. That's it. Just 1 year of just saying what I really want to say, and I'm feeling safe after saying it. And after that, the solution will come on its own. It happens to all of us. So उतना ही चाहिए बस.
That's beautiful. It's so true because even in relationships, what holds it together, love is a very small aspect of it. It's how you overcome the daily obstacles that you have, and it's through the right communication. You are there with each other throughout your life, like 24/7. You have to be vulnerable and communicate whatever you are feeling, and that makes a lot of a difference.
Yeah, that does. That's what we look for in relationships. Otherwise, why to be in a relationship? What is the reason? Money you can earn on your own. Home you can get on your own. Car you can get on your own. Why do you want somebody in your life?
How do you define a relationship? Why do you feel a relationship is important?
A lot of reasons actually. Uh, it's the very reason why we are here, to create those relationships, um, with our family, with our close people, place where we feel safe, place where I feel I can be myself, a place where you feel, you know what, this is a support I'm looking out for. When I'm growing, this person will not feel jealous of me. If I'm getting a new home, this person will not think negative about me. A relationship is any place where you feel like I can be myself. And yet, there are some relationships which are professional too, which are respectful too. But it needs to be safe. Any relationship where you don't feel that safety is not a relationship. We were doing one of the seminars which was on relationship, and we were talking one of the most important thing about relationships. And we spoke about a lot of things, Rahul, in that. We spoke about there needs to be communication, there needs to be emotions, there needs to be listening, there needs to be love, and everything. Everything is later. First is safety. If in a relationship somebody is screaming at you all the time, or physically abusing you, mentally abusing you, emotionally abusing you, you're not in a relationship actually. It's not a relationship. So it's important for us to start accepting this reality that safety is the most important thing, whether it's a professional relationship or a personal relationship. Whether I'm meeting you for the first time for a podcast or I'm being with somebody for the last 20 years of my life, safety is most important. For you to feel safe there, for you to feel respected there. Now the layers get added, whether the other person is accepting you as they are or not, whether other person is helping you to grow in life or not, whether the other person is supporting you or not. These are all additional layers. Whether the communication between both of you is amazing or not. All these are additional layers which will be up and down in every relationship. And we keep working on them. And that's also an important part, right, Rahul? How important it is to work on a relationship. Because according to us, the taboo is so big that if I have to go for a couple counseling, I'm going through bad times, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm at the last end of my relationship, hence I need that.
Before you guys separate, yeah.
Separate. But we don't understand the magic of coming in a space where one neutral person is sitting with both of you and helping you to explore some skills that can help you to strengthen your bond. We have still not even understood this fact. How is it possible? Like, either it should be friends or maybe some podcast, or mother or father should be doing this job. How can a neutral person do it? We have not still understood that part. And hence we go for such kind of help when we are the last resort, when we are in a crisis, we don't go that, you know what, our relationship is good, 7 out of 10. I may learn few things, let me make it 9 out of 10. Let me do that. So it's a lot of new territories we all are exploring right now, and which is fair. We'll slowly transform ourselves. And as humans, we don't want to change so early unless and until we are going through some crisis.
Yeah. We get too comfortable in the comfort zone. Yeah.
It is just that.
And that also comes down to safety. Human beings want safety so bad that is why they create that comfort zone. And even if you go through psychology, every trigger that you have probably, or every reaction that you have, internally it's there to defend you. That ego is trying to protect itself. Anger is what? Protecting that vulnerable kid inside. Crying, protecting those emotions that you just can't express. So every scenario that's happening internally, it's just trying to survive. And especially if your body also is showing signs of, let's say, acne, that's related to liver. If it's gaining weight, it's storing the unprocessed emotions. So in every scenario, it's trying to survive, and safety is the key aspect of it. And I also read this in the book that love all is the second aspect. Women especially, they want safety from a man, and the man, when he comes back from outside conquering the world, he wants peace, which again comes down to.
Yeah, that could also change now. That could also change now. Right now, women, men, both are going out there conquering the world. Both are coming back home and they want peace from each other. At the end of the day, what we all need is safety and support in a relationship. If you talk about as partners and all, that's what we all are looking out for. If a relationship is not helping you to be safe and not helping you to grow in life, not giving you that amount of peace and happiness, then you need to ask yourself whether I want to be in this relationship or not. Why are you in this relationship? I ask this question umpteen number of times every month to so-called specific people. Why are you in the relationship? You need to ask yourself.
What's the major? Have you ever identified people that who are in a relationship just because they don't wanna be alone?
You really are looking out to have a good relationship in your life, you need to create a better relationship with yourself first. So it's just from that angle that you really need to work on yourself. That's very important.
And then the relationships you attract also become better because you attract what you are.
Exactly.
Comes down to the frequency.
Exactly. So, exactly what you said, Rahul. So, if one is looking for a better relationship, that will start when you work on yourself. And a lot of times I tell this to if somebody is meeting me as a couples or something, or even as individuals, that you are not your partner's therapist. So don't become that. Don't try to change your partner or all the time motivate them. You know, my partner should be doing this, or this is what they should be doing. You know what, Prashant, my partner should come for this seminar. So stop all of this nonsense. They are the way they are, and you chose them as they are. Accept them first. Let them be. Their journey may be different, 100% different than yours. Let them be in their journey. Don't become a part of their journey more than what is needed.
It's more of a headache because you then spend time not focusing on yourself, but rather changing the other person. And then you start picking up faults in them.
That's when nagging starts.
Nagging starts, yeah. And that's where you lose the safety, which was the relationship was supposed to be about. Exactly. Yeah.
I have realized this so many times. I'll be doing something in my relationship, and after a while, I'll realize this is not right. I am not my partner, and my partner is not me. And it is so important to slowly start becoming aware that दोनों अलग हैं यार, और दोनों की अपनी ख्वाहिशें हैं, दोनों की अपनी limitations हैं, दोनों की अपनी strengths हैं. And it's so important to embrace it rather than keep changing all the time. So वो ज़रूरी है वो compassion लाना.
And change automatically happens as you grow. And if you are with your partner for a long period of time, of course they'll grow. You both will grow as a couple, and you will see different sides of them. One day they are someone else, one day they are a different version of themselves. So it's not like you are with that same person forever. And this is what my grandma used to say. Like, I've been with your grandpa for so many years, and over the years I've seen like different sides of him. He's not the person that I married. And now when I look back, it does make sense because you can change drastically in a year. I have changed I'm not the same person I was like just 6 months back. And probably I won't be. And I hope I'm not the same person like 1 year down the line. So you see different phases. What we get attached to is that certain version or that image of that person in our head. And we try to just keep on fulfilling that, which can happen or which may not happen. And that's why people and that's why relationships fall apart. So the question is, are you with that person because they fulfill that image of yours, or are you genuinely with that person because you both grow as a couple and they are meant to be in your life? And that's a deeper question.
That's a deeper question and that's valid. The fact is, Rahul, life is changing every minute by minute, every second by second. Everything is changing and evolving. That evolution happens in our jobs, in our professions, in the way we live our life, in our thought process, in our relationships. It keeps happening. And when we start embracing this evolution, that's when we start feeling a part of it. Then we are not fixated, then we are not stubborn about it. Then our ego is not attached. You were like this 5 years ago. Now, why you have changed? Because circumstances changed, situations changed, life changed, and I'm changing, and everybody is changing. And that is evolution. You will change. Good or bad, that depends on how much work you're doing on yourself or what you're going through. Sometimes you're working on yourself, but you're going through some bad situation in life. I've seen best of the masters who have worked on themselves for 20 years, 25 years. But there are times they go through some times that are very dark. And it's okay. It's okay to give ourselves that space to go through some dark times and slowly bring in compassion for ourselves. At that point of time is the point we need to treat ourselves like a small baby. We take care of a small baby. They need something, what cushion we need to put there, what kind of diaper you want to put, what kind of pillow should come there. When we want to lift a baby, how carefully we lift. Have we ever taken care of ourselves with that compassion?
No. I think everybody should. And take care of it. This one thing changed my perspective. Earlier, I used to see my partner as a partner. It would be her triggers, it would be her battles, it would be everything related to her, like what she is right now. But when I changed that perspective to, okay, if she's behaving this way, what's happening to that inner child inside? That flipped the script. And then it was so much easier to calm that child down because I knew then suddenly how to act. And that time she's not my partner, she's just a kid that I would want to talk to and make sure that everything's okay. Because whatever's happening right now is basically those fears of that younger child that wasn't loved, taken care of, or was just neglected. And it's so beautifully said. We have to treat ourselves as a child. And even as we grow up, I believe it's we all grow up, become serious, do our jobs and everything, and somewhere along the way we lose that child. And this is why everybody should have that one person you can be a child with. It's important to be a child with that person. The life will automatically go by happily.
Yes, we all need that.
Absolutely. Let's say you're in a challenging situation in your life, and that time it's extremely difficult to detach yourself from that situation and think rationally. So what do you think that one needs to do in order to console that child of themselves?
Sometimes it can be really difficult to do things on your own. I've been there and I know it's not easy. We all need support. And the day we stopped attaching uh, too much of ego to this fact that I just need support, we can start bringing in easiness there by saying, I need support. Something in me, I'm trying to do something, it's not happening. I just need support. It's like if you have a certain illness in your body, you will try with certain Tylenol, Advil you will take at home. After 3 4 days, no, you'll go to a doctor. Will it be ego attached that I'm going to a doctor? No. So the same way, if you're going to a spiritual therapist, if you're going to a counselor, if you're going for any therapy to learn anything you're doing to help yourself, don't attach any ego there. It's just you're going to somebody who can help you to come out of it. and reach out to that one person if you feel in your circle who will actually hear you out. That could be a part of a family, that may not be a part of a family. At that point of time, it is important to bring in that compassion for yourself. If you feel like doing few things you know which will help you, do it. But if you don't feel like doing anything, it's okay. It's absolutely okay. Just go to that one person and say, I need help. Can you just help me out here? It's important. And if you feel you're seeing somebody who's going through it, please don't offer advice. Please don't offer motivation. Please don't offer any of those encouraging quotes given on Google. Just be with them and ask them just one question: what can I do to help you? Instead of telling them something, ask them, what can I do to help you? The other person may not reply for first 5 days, but they will be one day they will tell you what you need to do.
It's like a nudge. It's telling them to go within.
That's it. No, 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 no. That's what I'm saying, Rahul. Don't tell them to do that. You don't need to go within. You just need to have that one person standing beside you and may not do anything, but just telling you that, hey, you know what? I'm here. Whenever you feel like talking, I'm here. Even if you don't feel like talking, I'm here. Whatever you feel you need to do, you let me know. And however I can help you, you let me know. No need to go deeper within doing any work on yourself. Leave everything aside. You tell me, what do you need to do? What will help you right now? We'll do that. That assurance in itself is very, very big.
It's a safe space for them to open up.
It creates a safe space. And once that safety is created, then we can release what we need to release. That safety is important in any relationship, in any healing we want to bring in our lives.
So true. So true.
That's it.
So it all ends with safe space.
It all ends with a safe space.
So this brings us to the end of today's conversation. And my takeaway would be, if there's anything in life that you're going through, don't be afraid to speak up. Find that one person you can open up to. Find that safe space and be vulnerable. Because once you take accountability of what's happening, automatically things begin to change. So don't be afraid. Feel free to comment in, and we'll be happy to help you in whatever way we can. Stay tuned for more episodes, and thank you so much.